Welcome to What Would Ducky Do, where we are connecting over three sex toys that I think will really rock your world. And then I'm asking for your advice on earthworms. It's not a sex thing, you pervs, so don't go there. But yeah, we're going to have some fun. Let's do this. What would Ducky do? This is where we dig into the weirdness of being alive. My name is Ducky. I answer real questions about life, love, sex, relationships, food, makeup, whatever lands in my inbox. You ask me, I just might bring that question to the table and answer it with you. Show notes and conversations happen with me at duckydoolittle.com. That's DUCKYDOO little. And you'll see a post for every episode. And in the comments, I'll be chatting with you and hopefully getting your advice about those earthworms. Today's question goes like this. Hi, Ducky. I read your review on the Womanizer Enhance, which is a sex toy, and I'm looking at purchasing one for my girlfriend. She's definitely into clit stimulation when it comes to toys. Would you recommend the Womanizer Enhance over others? Then there's a side question here, too. I'm also looking for some toy recommendations for myself. I've tried more of the entry-level strokers, looking for something that's a little better. Thank you. I have some notes just to help me because I want to make sure that I don't miss any of the good points about the Womanizer brand. It's really cool, but I got no dog in this race, so I can just tell you the truth. Womanizer as a brand is a very cool company, in part because they're good listeners. So they're always listening, always getting feedback, and then they are like nimble and bumping and moving and changing their designs. And then also they have their own high tech that they bring into it and bring things that the market never asked for. What happens there though is you get like a premium, a womanizer premium, and then a year or two later, whenever they're ready to launch the tech, they'll have the womanizer premium 2, for example. We get used to, if you're in the industry like I am, we get used to the idea that their tech, when they bring it out, is going to evolve, which is really cool. If you are completely unfamiliar with the womanizer brand, they are the people that created air pulse, pulsating air technology that's specifically made for the clitoris. It's so cool. It is not suction. Suction can feel good. Suction can bring engorgement to a body part, but on something as nerve centric as the clitoris, suction can feel good in the moment, but then you realize when you take it off that you may have actually gotten a little bit of an injury or like almost like a hickey on your clitoris or even your penis. If you use suction a lot on your penis, you can have that experience as well. The orgasms are not gentle, but the sensation is gentle and it's really safe to use. And it functions like a push-pull of air, like a strong bass speaker. If you've ever heard a car roll by and it's thumping, that's what it's doing, but to your clitoris. The first time I put a womanizer against my body, I was like, is that it? It didn't feel like much, like I could feel it. It was cool. But then it's like edging it, builds and builds and builds, and then boom, orgasm. I've heard the stat that 91% of people with a clitoris can experience an orgasm with a womanizer. The stats are adding up. The company's a good company. It's a company I believe in. They are innovative and interesting. And that's what led me to write this review on my blog about the Enhance. They gave me a free one. And I thought it was so beautiful that I crafted an entire review about it because I felt like the world needed to know. But if you go on their website, which is what I'm going to link to in my show notes, you're going to see that there are all these different versions. And I'm going to really talk about three. The first one was my first ride or die, which if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. If you can't, I'll describe it. It's longer than a palm, maybe 6 inches long, and it has this little opening, this circular opening, and that's what presses up against your clitoris. And inside there is the air pulse happening. There's like a circular ring that goes over that you can pull off and clean. and it's very simple. One of the things I loved about the Premium 2 is I've always loved the sensation, but the Premium 2, I like it because it's only on when it's pressed against your body. And when you pull it away, it stops. And when you put it against your body, it starts again. So the charge lasts a long time. It's rechargeable. But I'm a hygiene fiend. And the only thing I found hard about this one was that I just never feel like cleaning the little ring part is enough. Like I want to get in there and clean it, clean it, clean it. And that's just my nature. So then they came out with the Enhance. And if you're watching online, it's about the same size as the Premium 2. There's actually an upgrade from the Premium 2. It's called Next. So if you are looking at their website, Next is like the next version, but I haven't tried it, so I can't speak to it. But the Enhance was cool because there is no ring. It's 100% waterproof. You can play with it in the tub and you can really clean it. Like I can shower this thing with foaming toy cleaner and rinse it off in the sink, and I'm really happy. Not only that, so you have the air pulse technology happening at the little circular opening, but then around the edge of the circular opening, you also have vibration. So that was a game changer because you can take the air pulse and add more sensation to it. And you can use either function independent of the other. So between how I could clean it and how it plays, I just feel if you buy the Enhance for your partner, she's going to be happy. Almost anybody's going to be happy with this toy. To me, it's a major upgrade. We'll see what your partner thinks. Now, if you've never tried Pleasure Air and you're not sure where to start, I would say, or you don't want to drop $100 on a product if you're not sure your partner's going to love it, I'd say start with something like their Liberty, Womanizer Liberty or Womanizer Starlet. You'll get that air pulse technology. You'll feel the sensation. She'll get a chance to decide if it's for her. And then you can take it from there. And then upgrade. If you love it, upgrade to one of these nicer models like the Enhance. It's like I said, I can clean the heck out of that thing. And that really makes me feel good. Now, to answer your question about strokers. So here's the thing about strokers. There's one that I'm just fixated on. Now, I don't have a penis. I This is a toy that makes me wish I had a penis because it is really good. It's called the UFO, and I'll put links in my show notes to this one as well. But the thing about the UFO in this is not from outer space. It is an acronym for unbelievable fucking object. That's what it is, unbelievable fucking object. To describe it, it's a classic canister, right? Like canisters became really popular about 20 years ago. And a canister stroker is a container, has a cap, you pull the cap off, and then you see like the circular soft silicone sleeve inside it that you put your penis inside. Now, if your penis is inside the UFO, God, it's a really gratifying statement to say. If your penis is inside the UFO and you're looking down at it, there are three buttons. The center button is you hold it for 3 seconds to turn it on, you hold it for 3 seconds to turn it off. Right? If you push the top button, it or the bottom button in that direction, it begins to vibrate inside there. It's got two vibrating units inside there, and it's really lovely because it's a soft silicone sleeve that and the vibrations transfer really nicely. So that feels good, right? And then you hit the top button and this rhythmic suction action starts to happen. So like push pull, beautiful suction action happens. You can use the vibration without the suction or the suction without the vibration. You can use them together. But then there's more because you can hold down the top button and the bottom button at the same time and go into what they call deep space mode, which is even more sensation, rhythmic sensation. It's just really, really cool. So I think that's a great product. You compare that with a beautiful water-based lubricant. If you want a warming sensation, so it feels a little bit more like another person or a body, or maybe an alien body. Oh my God, this is getting weird. So then you can use a warming lube with it. Or you can get this thing that's a warming and drying dock, which has two functions. One, you can put your stroker on that as you're preparing to have some solo play and warm it. The other thing is you can pull the sleeve out of the UFO, right? The two vibes are there and you just pull them out of the sleeve as well. And then you can wash it And then you can put it on the drying dock and it will dry it faster than just say air drying, which is really nice, especially if you have a roommate or you share a home with family. You can clean your toy, dry your toy, and put it away more efficiently. And I love that. So all the little things that make life easier, because humans, we're lazy creatures. We always want the fastest, easiest way to get things done. And that's what also makes us extraordinary. We're always looking for a better way to do things. And so I think if you like a stroker, you should get yourself a drying and warming dock and take it that much further and have an easier life. Because, dude, if I had a penis, I'd have a UFO. The next segment, which we call What Should Ducky Do? So we opened up with what would Ducky do, and now I'm looking for your advice because I have this obsession and I need more brains to get in on it with me. And you can tell me your experiences and thoughts on earthworms. I love to garden. And if you've read my blog, you will see there's a post up there about my gardening obsessions. And one year I started a catnip grow farm on a rooftop in Brooklyn, and I attracted every stray cat for a 2 mile radius. So it was so much fun, though, that they were just up there rolling in the sunshine, so happy that it brought so much joy into my life that I've never stopped. And when I lived in an apartment, I did balcony gardening, and now I have a yard, and so I'm gardening pretty hard. For Christmas, I asked for a tumbling compost bin because I've been buying so much soil. It's like I'm always going to the store, throwing six more bags in my trunk. And yes, it degrades, it sinks deeper into the flower beds. I tread it up. But then I get another flower pot and then I get another flower bed and I'm always getting more. I could make this soil. I want to make some rich, dark, beautiful soil. So I got that from my brother-in-law. He brought me the bin. And then my sister, if you're watching on YouTube, got me this book, Worms Eat My Garbage. This book is so good. It's by Mary Applehoff and Joanne Olszewski. 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 Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. Okay, so anyway, this is a book that has been a work in progress. This is the 35th anniversary, over 200,000 copies sold. Maybe somebody who has also read it is watching this, but it's so good. According to this, when I get my worms, I become what you call a worm worker. They're not working for me. I'm working for them. They will be working for me, but we're working together, right? I'm the worm worker. And so I have to learn, I have to get the right worms. You don't want invasive worms. You want worms that are going to eat the soil, move it through their little wiggly bodies, and then poop it out as, no, they eat the garbage and they poop it out as soil. That's the goal. And if you have a nice, healthy bunch of worms, then you're in good shape. So I have this huge obligation coming, and I take my obligation to other life very seriously. So whether it's my dogs, my cats, my houseplants, my garden, like it's a big deal. I'm really happy to be responsible for them. So I'm going to be happy to be responsible for my worms as well. So again, this book is called Worms Eat My Garbage: How to Set Up and Maintain a Worm Composting System. And it's crazy because I don't even know if this works with a tumbler. Maybe I'll need two composting systems. I'm just stepping in. So please, any advice you have for me. But it's so cool to read about it. There's these different kinds of worms. There's red worms. There's red tiger worms, Indian blue worms. They sound like they could totally be names of fireworks. African night crawler. And then there's a whole list of invasive worms in here. And then there's a whole section on how worms reproduce, which is also very cool. If you've ever seen worms and you look at the worms and they have these little long bodies, if they have that little smooth bump in the middle, what do they call it here? I got it somewhere. They call it a girdle, band, or saddle. So if your worms have a saddle or a girdle, that means that they are sexually mature and they're ready to reproduce. And then they're called banded breeders. So my goal is to get some banded breeders going, right? I don't know if I'll get little worms to start with or if I'll buy the banded breeders. I don't know what's happening, but I'm so like hyped. And I can be pretty excitable, I'll admit it. At this point, I am the greenest composter you will ever meet. I'm starting to learn like what parts of household trash can go in the composting bin. I'm learning what kind of I've got woods behind me, so I think I can go get some leaves and things like that. And I don't know. We're on a journey, my friends. I'm obsessed. I'm accepting any and all advice on composting and worm working. So please bring it. Thank you for joining me for my very first episode of What Would Ducky Do? And if you enjoyed this show, please tell your friends, follow, give a review. This is the first episode, so every single little bit of feedback is so valuable to me, and it ensures that I can keep creating for you and with you. And if you have a question you want me to tackle in a future episode, or if you have a composting advice for me, or if you want more information on what I talked about in this show, all of that will be linked in my show notes. And you can go to duckydoolittle.com, and I'll see you there.